the 11th year of the Brass Institutes of America, as well as the second year here at Wichita State University. My name is Dakota Corbliss, and I'm one of the BIA directors in addition to being one of the horn faculty here this year. First off, we'd like to thank the Wichita State University School of Music for being incredible hosts for the event and allowing us to use their facilities this week, including this incredible hall. For those of you that may not know, the Brass Institutes of America is a nonprofit organization dedicated to connecting students of all skill levels with renowned brass performers and educators through a combination of daily instruction, mentorship, and concert experiences at an accessible price. We are always looking for more people to get involved, whether that's as a volunteer, social media advocate, or even a donor. You'll find in our program a list of this year's festival sponsors, or as we call them, BIA ambassadors, who are all essential in making this and all of our other events possible. They are listed as follows. For our premier sponsors, this is the highest tier that we have. We have the Wichita State University School of Music, who is supporting all of the wonderful WSU students here, as well as our Brass Institutes of America resident conductor, Dr. Timothy Shade, as well as XO Brass. For our gold tier, we have Appalachian State University Hayes School of Music, who are supporting all of our App State students here, as well as myself, Dakota Corbliss, who's the Assistant Professor of Horn and Graduate Program Director for the Master's in Performance degree, as well as our Assistant Professor of Tuba and Euphonium, Dr. Samuel Ambrose. Our silver tier sponsors are Dennis Wick, Con Selmer, and Buffet Crampon. Our brass sponsors are DF Music, Baylor University School of Music, who supported Professor of Trumpet Whiff Rudd on Monday night, KBI Music Shop, Greg Black Mouthpieces, the University of Maryland School of Music, who is supporting their Assistant Professor of Trombone and BIA Trombone faculty, Mr. Miles Blakemore, Shire's Company, Yamaha Brass for Beginners, and Venture Mouthpieces. Could we please take a moment to thank them? If you believe you can also help our mission and provide students with an amazing educational opportunity, please come find one of the directors, myself, or Dr. Samuel Ambrose, to learn about what impact your tax-deductible donation can make. We can accept these donations via check, Venmo, or PayPal. If you want to learn more about us, you can visit our website at www.brass-usa.com or by following us on social media at Brass Institutes of America. So now, for the moment you have all been waiting for, our featured guest artist for the evening. They've been working with our students all day. His name is Mr. Scott Schiffer Legier, and he is the assistant principal horn as well as the third horn with the Louisville Orchestra. He's done master classes as well as answered questions about his career and those sorts of things all day, and you're about to be in for a treat of an amazing recital. So can we please welcome Mr. Scott Schiffer Legier and Dr. Warren Kim.
I'm so excited to be out here. Thank you so much for Dakota and everybody at BIA for having me. It's so much fun to get to do this. My day job is that I play in an orchestra, which is really cool, but this is sometimes more fun than playing footballs in an orchestra piece. Now, this piece and this whole recital is a recital of French music, and I've somehow become fascinated with French music, French composers, and all of the stuff that they've done for the French horn, of course. And this piece in particular is a work by Marcel Biche called The Variations on a French Song. Marcel Biche wrote so much for the brass. There's a series of trumpet etudes that are really amazing to practice and incredibly difficult. He has a number of horn pieces. And it's just a really fun piece to play. In fact, this piece in particular, I was first introduced to by my dad, who is not a musician, by the way. But for Christmas one year, he bought me all of the horn music he could find on Amazon. And I was in the 8th grade, so most of it I could not play. It was stuff like En Forêt and this piece. But he tried and he did a great job. And eventually I have played all of those pieces that he bought for me that Christmas. But at the time it was quite a stretch. Speaking of pieces that my dad bought for me this summer, in that set was a collection of the Saint-Saëns romances, the E major romance and the F major romance. So it wouldn't be a French music recital without some of Camille Saint-Saëns' music, which is, of course, he's written so much for us. So here is the E major romance by Camille Saint-Saëns. next piece is the Marceau de Concert by Camille Saint-Saëns. The last time I played this piece, I was in the 8th grade. It did not go very well. It will probably be better, but no promises. prep you for this next one, it would not be a Scott Leger recital if there was not an esoteric, free-form contemporary piece in the middle of it. So that's what we're going to do now. This is a work that's new to me, and it's probably new to most people. It's a work by Odette Gartenlau, and this is just a piece called Pour le Corps. Odette Gartenlau was a French composer living in the middle of the 20th century. And I want to talk a little bit about how I came to find this piece, because it's very important, especially as you get later into your career, you leave school, to be able to find new music. Because when you're in school and everybody's playing recitals, you've got all this stuff going on, you know, it's easy to find inspiration for new works because everyone is discovering this stuff all in all at the same time. But once you leave school, it's much harder to find new works because you're not going to so many recitals and you're not around all these people. So there's two resources that I use now that I think are really important to finding new works, especially new works by people of color and new works by women. And those two resources are people that you should know, and I hope that you will look them up after this. And they're two horn players. One of them is Katie Beth McKinney. Katie Beth McKinney has done an incredible job at creating a database of women composers, non-binary composers, people of color, and she's building that. And part of her work also has to do with the second database, which is by Lynn Folk Baird. And these two horn players have done an amazing job at cataloging so many works that we otherwise wouldn't really know about because either they're not recorded or they're not recorded very frequently or they're out of print or they're hard to find. And their databases include not only the composer and the name of the piece and the length of the piece, but also the publisher, where to actually find the music, how to see the music, how to play the music. So that's how I came about this piece. And then about 2 days after I found it, as people like to say, the International Horn Competition added it to their roster. And so now everybody knows this piece. So I thought I had something brand new, but if you're going to Fort Collins for the International Horn Competition of America, I hope that you'll hear many, many people play this piece because it's one of the competition pieces that they'll get to do. So this is a work, again, that's new to me, it's new to Warren, it's new to everybody, but I think it's a really fantastic, well, I would say addition, but it's already existed for 60 years. But I would say it's certainly a new addition into my repertoire of pieces. So this is Pour le Corps by Odette Gartenlau. For learning that piece in one day. That's amazing. That is not easy to do. That is not easy to do. Well, we've come to the end. I'm so sorry. But I think you're really going to like this last piece. Because I like it so much, I've done it more than once, which is so rare. But I love getting to play pieces again, because I get to explore new things about them. And this piece, I first did it a number of years ago at a horn festival in North Carolina. And I sat down with the pianist, and I was like, okay, here's the deal with this piece. It has a huge problem, because it's an amazing work. It's a work by Jane Vigneri, it's her sonata. But there's two different editions of these. I'm going to nerd out for a second, I'm so sorry. There's two different editions of this piece. One that was published a way long time ago, when it was first written. That is mostly correct, but it's not perfect. And then there's a new edition that somebody rediscovered the piece, and they're like, oh, I'm going to rediscover it, I'm going to fix it. There was nothing wrong with it, though. So now there's this new version that has all these errors. And I'm going to tell you all right now, because there are a bunch of students in this audience. If any of you want a really amazing doctoral thesis, please make a critical edition of the Jane Vigneri Sonata that sort of fixes all the mistakes and puts them in one part. You won't make a lot of money, but you'll make some money if you can do this. We played the French horn, not the electric guitar. Now, this piece Jane Vigneri's Sonata is so evocative, it's so beautiful. There's so many colors in here. It uses the French horn so well with the open horn and the stopped horn. It's just a really great piece to know, and I'm so glad. If you don't know this piece, I'm so glad to introduce it to you. And if you do know this piece, I hope that I found as many of the errors as I could. All right, so here's our last piece of the program, which is Jane Vigneri's wonderful sonata for horn and piano.